There is an unwritten rule about social power that almost nobody explains out loud. The calmest person in any room is the one everyone else is quietly organizing around, not the loudest one, not the most credentialed one, the one who does not move when everyone else flinches. Genuine composure, the ability to remain stable under pressure while the people around you are losing the thread, is one of the rarest skills a human being can carry. And here is the part that sounds like a paradox. When you actually develop it, it does not just protect you. It unsettles other people. Real stillness makes certain people visibly uncomfortable. And by the end of this video, you will understand exactly why that happens and exactly how to build it. Most people misread the psychology of composure entirely. They assume it is a temperament, something you are either born with or you are not. They watch someone who does not react and say he is just wired that way. Or worse, she does not care about anything. And the advice they hand out is useless. Take a deep breath. Count to 10. Do not let it get to you. The truth runs in the opposite direction. Composure is not the absence of feeling. It is not low energy, and it is not a personality trait. It is a trained ability, a specific and measurable capacity of the nervous system, and the research behind it is some of the most solid in modern psychology, which means something important for you. If you do not have it yet, you can build it. If you have ever felt that your calm makes the people around you uncomfortable without understanding exactly why, subscribe and leave a like, and at the end, drop a comment telling us which of the 3 laws we cover exposed you the most. Read what other people write. To understand composure at the level where it actually operates, you need one concept. It comes from one of the most cited researchers in the field, Dr. James Gross at Stanford University. His area is called emotion regulation, the study of how people influence which emotions they have, when they have them, and how they express them. Inside that field, Gross identified 2 completely different strategies that people use when something hits them. They look identical from the outside. They are opposites on the inside. The first strategy is called cognitive reappraisal. This is when you change the meaning of an event before the emotion fully loads. Your manager sends a cold 2-line message. The reappraiser's mind does not ask, "Why is he attacking me?" It asks, "What is this actually?" Maybe it is pressure coming from above him. Maybe it is someone typing between back-to-back meetings. The event gets reinterpreted upstream before the wave forms. So the wave that reaches you is smaller. You are not suppressing a storm. You shrank it at the source. The second strategy is called expressive suppression. This is what most people call being calm, and it is not calm at all. Suppression is when the emotion fires at full strength and you lock down the outside of it. The anger is there, the panic is there, your face simply is not allowed to show it. Gross and his colleague Oliver John found that these 2 strategies produce completely different lives. Habitual reappraisers experience less negative emotion and have stronger relationships, while habitual suppressors feel worse on the inside and connect less on the outside. Same still face. Opposite realities underneath. Composure is not just a mental trick, it lives in your body and it is measurable. Psychologists Julian Thayer and Richard Lane built a model called neurovisceral integration, and the idea is simpler than the name suggests. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain handling judgment, perspective, and self-control, is in constant conversation with your heart. When the prefrontal cortex is active and in charge, it applies a braking signal down through the vagus nerve, and your heart does not just beat more slowly, it beats more flexibly. That flexibility has a name. Heart rate variability. High variability means your system can accelerate when it needs to and settle the moment the demand passes. Low variability means the brake is weak. Your body treats every email like an emergency and takes hours to recover from it. Think of it as a metronome. Most people's inner tempo is set by whatever room they walk into. Someone raises their voice and the pulse follows. The meeting turns tense and the breathing shortens. The rhythm belongs to the environment. A composed person carries their own tempo. The room accelerates and their tempo holds. And Thayer's research shows this is not poetry. People with higher heart rate variability perform better on exactly the tasks that pressure destroys: attention, working memory, decision-making under threat. And here is the part that should shift how you see yourself. This capacity is built, not issued at birth. Share this with someone you admire for their calm but never understood where it came from. Because what comes next explains the difference between the calm that heals and the calm that shuts down. What separates the person with real composure from the person who is just holding it together? 3 laws. And the second one might be uncomfortable to hear. The first law is that real calm happens before the emotion, not after it. Watch 2 people receive the same bad news in a meeting. The first one hears it, and you can see the half second where the meaning gets processed, and then nothing dramatic happens because by the time the information landed, it had already been filed as a problem to address, not a verdict about who they are. That is reappraisal working upstream. The second person hears it, and something crosses the face for a quarter of a second before the mask comes down. Both look calm 3 seconds later, but the first one shrank the wave, and the second one is standing in front of a wave holding a door shut. The entire skill of composure lives in that upstream moment, in the question your mind asks first. The untrained mind asks, "What does this mean about me?" The composed mind asks, "What is this information and what does it change?" Same event. Different question. Completely different nervous system response. The second law is the one you need to hear even if it stings. Your fake calm is not fooling anyone. It is stressing them. You think you are composed because you do not raise your voice. You go quiet in the argument, you flatten your tone, you say "I am fine" with a face like poured concrete, and you tell yourself that this is maturity. It is not. It is suppression. And the people around you can feel it even when they cannot name it. In 2003, Emily Butler, Boris Egloff, James Gross and their colleagues ran an experiment that should put this illusion to rest permanently. They paired strangers to discuss an upsetting topic and secretly instructed one person in some pairs to suppress, to hide everything they were feeling. The suppressor's partners were never told anything, and yet those partners' blood pressure rose measurably just from sitting across from someone concealing their inner state. The suppressors were also rated as harder to connect with, and rapport between the pairs dropped. Your clamped-down calm raises the blood pressure of the people talking to you. The human nervous system is built to read other nervous systems, and when your words say fine but your body broadcasts locked, the mismatch registers as threat. So if people get tense around your so-called calm, if someone close to you says they can never tell what you are thinking as if it is a wound, that is not proof of composure. That is evidence that you do not have it yet. The third law is where everything connects. Real composure removes the feedback that people steer by. And that is exactly why it makes them nervous. Almost every social provocation is a guidance system. The provocateur jabs, reads your reaction, then adjusts. Your flinch shows them where the nerve is. Your defensiveness confirms the hit landed. Your rush to explain hands them the wheel. Manipulation, baiting, status games, all of it runs on the reaction you send back. Now put a genuinely composed person into that loop. The jab goes out and nothing usable comes back. Not a suppressed nothing with tension leaking through the jaw. A real nothing. Relaxed face, unhurried voice. A response that arrives a beat later than expected and lands a degree cooler than the provocation. The guidance system goes blind. The person probing you loses the signal they steer by, and the discomfort they feel is exactly the discomfort of a plan that has stopped producing data. The steadiest metronome does not chase the room's tempo. The room, slowly and against its will, starts sinking to it. But composure has a price, and you should know it before you build it. The price is projection. When you stop broadcasting your inner state, people fill the silence with their own. The insecure will read your stillness as judgment. The manipulative will read it as a challenge and escalate. You will be tested more, not less, in the beginning, precisely because your non-reaction threatens people whose power depends on your reaction. And some people will call you cold because they have never encountered a calm that was not frozen. This is the paradox of the skill. The thing that makes you harder to shake is the same thing that makes you harder to read. And not everyone forgives what they cannot read. It is worth it, but it is not free. So how do you actually build this? And here is what will not work. Willpower. You cannot force your way to composure because forcing yourself to appear calm while your body fires is the definition of suppression. You would be training the exact fake calm we just dismantled. You cannot order a nervous system to relax any more than you can order your heart to skip a beat. The goal is not to grip harder. The goal is to retrain the two systems that produce calm in the first place: the interpretation habit and the physiological break. 4 practices, in order. The first practice is installing the reappraisal question. The next time something hits you, a sharp message, a criticism, an unexpected cancellation, catch the first question your mind asks. If it is any version of "what does this mean about me," override it out loud if you have to. What is this actually? Then generate 2 alternative explanations that have nothing to do with you. It feels mechanical at first. It is supposed to. Gross's research shows reappraisal works because it intervenes early in the emotional sequence. You are literally practicing catching the wave before it forms. Do it 20 times and it stops being a technique and starts being your default question. The second practice is training the exhale. This is the fastest lever on the physiology. Your heart naturally speeds up slightly when you inhale and slows when you exhale. That is the vagal brake engaging. So when you deliberately make the exhale longer than the inhale, 4 counts in and 6 or 8 counts out, you are manually operating the brake. With daily repetition, you strengthen it. 5 minutes a day of slow, extended exhale breathing, and separately in the moment you feel pressure spike in real life. 1 long exhale before you speak. You are not calming yourself down with positive thinking. You are operating the actual hardware. The third practice is the delayed response rule. Composed people are never in a hurry to answer, and this is trainable starting today. Set a personal rule. Under pressure, your response arrives 1 full breath after it is expected. Someone provokes you. Breath, then you speak. Someone drops bad news. Breath, then you respond. That single beat does 2 things. It gives your prefrontal cortex time to come back online and choose the words, and it communicates without a single syllable that your tempo is set from the inside. The pause feels enormous to you. From the outside, it reads as authority. The fourth practice is the no feedback stance. This is the advanced drill for moments when someone is actively trying to bait you. The stance has 3 components. A relaxed face with the jaw loose, which is why practices 1 through 3 come first because you cannot fake loose. A voice that goes slower and slightly quieter when theirs goes faster and louder. And responses that are brief, factual, and warm enough to be unimpeachable. That is one way to see it. Take your time. You are not stonewalling. Stonewalling is suppression with a locked jaw, and they will feel it. You are simply choosing not to return a signal. And when you train these long enough, something shifts that goes beyond tactics. In the beginning, composure is a performance you maintain. Then it becomes a break you can reach. And then one day, in the middle of what should be chaos, you notice the calm is just there, not held, not enforced, simply your resting state. And the strangest part is what happens around you. People start finishing their sentences more slowly near you. Tense rooms settle when you walk in, and nobody can say why. You stopped syncing to the world's tempo, and the world quietly started borrowing yours. The metronome did not get louder. Everything else just organized around the steadiest beat in the room. Maybe that is the deepest truth about composure. Every one of us is broadcasting a nervous system to everyone we meet all day, beneath every word. And most people spend their whole lives transmitting static they never chose. Composure is what it looks like when a human being finally takes responsibility for their own signal. You cannot control what the world sends you. You can train, down to the heartbeat, what you send back. Of the 3 laws we covered, which one exposed you the most? Are you the upstream reappraiser, the suppressor whose calm has been leaking this whole time? Or the one who has already felt what happens when you stop feeding the reaction machine? Drop it in the comments honestly. Subscribe to this channel if this is the kind of analysis that actually moves something for you. Share this with someone who goes quiet in every storm, because now you know there are 2 very different kinds of quiet, and they deserve to know which one they are living in.